All right, guys, we're going to switch our focus a little bit to Bianca Andreescu, who was the first Grand Slam champion in history, singles Grand Slam champion in Canada. What are your thoughts on her rise?
First of all, I go way back in women's tennis. I was very good friends with the late John Bassett, and his daughter was a pioneer, Carleen Bassett. So that's how old I am. I go way back. And she was a great Canadian player and did very well. We're lucky enough each year we head down to Palm Springs and we go down to the tournament, and it's a great event to go to. It's not overly crowded. There's a ton of Canadians that flock down there for the event in March. I got to see her play in her very first match at Palm Springs in the year she won the U.S. Open, and we saw her first match. And I remember watching the match thinking, my gosh, that's one of the hardest working athletes I've ever seen in my life. And as the story goes, she went on to win the tournament, her first big win. She went to the US Open, and, to play in front of all those fans and everyone cheering for their American girl and one of the great athletes of all time, it was pretty special. And my hat goes off to her, how she handled herself and how she handled the pressure. And as you know, Vasco, the Tennis Canada has done such a wonderful job. Uh, People like Steve, who are pioneers in basketball, and Mike Weir for golf in Canada, Carleen Bassett, now Bianca in women's tennis in Canada. Those things are all so important for the growth of our country in sports. And you got to look up to people, and you got to have heroes, because we all do. And at one point in our lives, we were all kids dreaming. Um, and the thing that impressed me most about her, and I said this to a lot of people over and over, not just how good she was and how hard she worked, but how she handled herself with the media. So many athletes that I see do interviews and on TV, in person, I just thought that she handled herself with such poise, and she was so humble. She was so appreciative. And the talk shows that she did, it's nerve-wracking for a 19-year-old youngster, let alone a young female champion. So my hat goes off to her. I don't think we could have a better hero in our country for young kids. I think it's truly remarkable, and she deserves all the credit she's getting.
That's actually a great point. The way she's handled it at such a young age, she allows you to feel like you're meeting a 19-year-old too in the interviews. It's not all like I'm this polished thing. She also has that intangible that you're playing Serena Williams, the greatest of all time in the U.S. Open final. To be able to handle that at 19, like as you know, like to be standing there on the line against the greatest of all time at 19 on basically our home court, fans want it more than anything, and for her to take a deep breath, go for winners, and not stop playing and still have that personality, like that's special. If she works hard and she sticks with it and is injury free, that's the ingredient. As Wayne will tell you, it's the mentality. Winners have that in their heart and their mind. The mentality in big moments, they want that, they relish it. Biggest moment of what would be the biggest moment for most tennis players' career to happen at 19 and to succeed in that fashion, that's the winning ingredient.